On the point about country engagement and the link to our CPS work, the point that is raised and highlighted in the evaluation report, I'd like to share three reflections, mostly looking at my experience here in the Philippines as country director. First, I think our program here in the Philippines could be a good pointer, a case study, if you like, for addressing these issues. Our program has now evolved over the last few years to the point where ADB is now a key partner on complex policy reforms and is also supporting the government on transformative mega infrastructure investments. And this evolution has happened really because of our strong country engagement at so many different levels. And here, I think I'd like to stress the importance of leveraging our country platforms or our convening influence within the countries. We've been able to move the climate agenda in the country on the back of some of this work. We've also been able to look at programming largely from an agnostic perspective, where our public sector work has helped catalyze, mobilize private sector investments, but also now we are seeing a ramping up on our private sector side because of this deliberate programming linkages that we've been able to foster. Our diagnostic work, that's the second point I'd like to make. It's important to reckon with the geopolitical uncertainties and the uneven economic recovery from COVID. We're still seeing scarring. It's important to liaise, coordinate with government, of course, but also work with development partners to make sure we are providing actionable recommendations in this very uncertain context. And lastly, I think the point about decentralization. We are continue to deal with capacity concerns, issues around complex portfolio challenges. And a lot of this has to be tackled on the front lines by the resident missions. It's important that we resource appropriately and make sure that these decentralization plans are fully effective.
Day-to-day engagement with government counterpart and stakeholders, it's really at the heart of ADB countries' engagement in resident mission. But to take this to the next level, the resident mission needs more boots in the ground, international resident expert, which can build better understanding of the country context and build long-term relation with the client. This is an absolute necessity for meaningful policy dialogue and for enabling innovations. As part of this exercise, these experts need to engage in upstream studies together with stakeholders on critical issues. This is project originations. It takes time and resources, but it's the only way to design tailor-made strategy which are moving away from the blueprint approach. And of course, these studies need to be initiated during the CPS implementation and inform the preparation of the next CPS as well as pipeline building.
As highlighted in the annual evaluation review, for ADB, its Country Partnership Strategy, or CPS, is the key platform for country engagement and for ensuring that development assistance is aligned with and responsive to clients' needs. Over the past 5 years, Uzbekistan has undertaken extensive reforms and has adjusted its priorities and needs significantly. Both the CPS final review, led by the country team, and IED's validation of the previous CPS have helped us understand what has worked and what can be done better. The evaluations gave us valuable insights on how to respond to clients' evolving needs and to be prepared for potential shocks in the future. The collaboration between the country team with understanding of the country context and the IED with regional and global perspectives have together greatly enhanced the upcoming CPS for Uzbekistan.